learn to fight like that?
It was long ago.
On the run from the law.
Check the cargo! It's here somewhere! Move it!
Captured by gun runners.
A stowaway. You work for us. Put him in chains.
So today I want to argue that Jean-Claude Van Damme's movie The Quest from 1996 actually has a deeper meaning. Now I'm not saying that Jean-Claude Van Damme agrees with me and that he made the movie with this deeper meaning in mind, but still I want to argue that the movie actually perfectly captures the absurdist philosophy about life. And to sum up the philosophy, so absurdists take the view that the world itself is meaningless, not just some aspects of it. For example, they wouldn't just argue that, for example, World War I was meaningless. They would say that the entire order of humanity and the existence of humans on this piece of rock in the universe is meaningless, but they are in some aspects they are different from nihilists, and they don't view this as a problem. They seek to find subjective meaning, and they believe that the pursuit of meaning is actually something good, but they believe that we, the people, can find their own meaning. And okay, so let me explain why I believe the movie actually perfectly captures that essence. So, and it is one of the more absurd movies I saw. So, the movie starts almost as a noir slash gangster movie from the 1930s. Jean-Claude Van Damme is a criminal and he leads a gang of children. They steal for him, but despite that, he's actually a good guy. Then he is forced to flee from New York, both from the authorities and from the mafia, but he gets captured by smugglers and is forced to be their slave. But then the pirates attack the ship and he starts hanging out with the pirates. But then the pirates betray him and sell him to this Thai Thai guy, people in Thailand that force him to train Muay Thai and fight other people, like other Thai people. And eventually, through a bizarre set of circumstances, he teams up with this captain, played by Roger Moore, and they go on a secret tournament where all the nations of the world compete in in the in the year of, I believe, late 1920s or 1925. I'm not sure. So and yeah, and his plan originally is to steal the golden dragon. That's why he joins the tournament. He wants to steal it and return back to America as a rich guy. But what happens is he finds that American patriotism somewhere inside him. I actually like that scene, and he decides to win the tournament for the United States. He wants to see the American flag at the end as one of the characters. The former heavyweight champion of the world in the movie tells Van Damme to fight because he wants to see the American flag at the end of the tournament. And Van Damme actually, yeah, uh, he also finds that meaning and decides to fight for his homeland. And in the end, yeah, he also wants to avenge his friend that is that was killed by an evil Mongolian dude. And what's kind of funny is that friend actually does not have a single line in the movie. But okay, but the friend is killed, and now Van Damme has to avenge him, and the movie becomes something like Rocky meets Bloodsport. But okay. I mean, that's what's absurd about the movie. So the movie starts as a almost as a noir movie, then it becomes a pirate movie, and then it's like Rocky meets Bloodsport at the end. And what happens at the end? Well, okay, spoiler alert. I mean, Van Damme wins the tournament and gets the golden dragon, but he decides to give it back to the people of Thailand in exchange for his two friends not being killed, because his friends are caught as thieves. And yes, so what struck me as kind of bizarre about this movie is that Van Damme's character at the end is almost practically where he was when he started his journey, his his quest. And what's also bizarre about the movie, it's called The Quest. It's called The Quest, but the guy actually doesn't even have a clear quest. He's just running away from the authorities. Then he's captured by pirates, and then he becomes a slave, and then he decides to actually fight for the United States, and and in the end he decides to not steal the golden dragon. So his goals constantly change. He doesn't even have a clear quest, and to maybe a less experienced movie viewer, that may seem as a problem. The fact that his character in the end is exactly where he was in the beginning, and the fact that he actually never had a clear quest. But on the contrary, I would argue it's not a problem. It's why the movie perfectly captures the absurdist philosophy about life, is because Van Damme's goals constantly change throughout the movie, and maybe that's the point of the movie. I mean, that's the absurdist view of life. One day you can be a clown that leads a gang of kids in New York. Another day you're captured by pirates. Few days later you are a slave on Thailand that's forced to fight and learn the art of Muay Thai, and then in the end you win the golden dragon. So maybe that's the metaphor for life itself. And that golden dragon, yeah, maybe the point is it in the end it doesn't matter whether you have the golden dragon or not, but the journey towards the dragon is what matters. Maybe that's the point. Maybe the quest is what you find uh, trying to achieve it. That's the true meaning of the quest. The people he met. Yeah, it is implied that maybe he ended up with a girl, like a good looking blonde girl. He meets on the way. Like she wants to write a report about the tournament, and then he wins the tournament, and then I mean I would assume they end up together. We actually surprisingly don't see them being together, but it's heavily implied that they do end up together. But I don't know. Maybe it's just a one night stand. Who knows? I mean, in the end of the movie, we don't see him with that girl. But again, maybe the point of the movie is, yeah, that his life actually remained basically the same, and that's where the movie captures the absurdist philosophy so well.